Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker of Chip Baker, the Success Chronicles. About to have a sit down with my guy, Mr. Kenneth Morris, man, an amazing guy, doing some really cool things to make a positive difference. And I'm excited to share his story with you. So, hey, check it out. Go get it. It's so good to be with you here today. Yeah, man, thanks so much for hanging out with me and thinking enough of me to just, reach out so we can share this story and put it out there. I've been looking forward to it. But I think the first thing is, man, just a proper intro to the audience. We're here with my guy, Mr. Kenneth Morris, a great guy, pilot, been doing some amazing things. His story will blow you away. Like when I introduce and tell people about you, that's what I tell them all the time. Man, his story will blow you away. Right? And so it won't be any different today from when we talk. And so, but I just want to dive into your journey and talk about some of the things, just reflecting on your journey. I know there's some underlying themes that you had, and so I think the first one is, man, like as far as your personal journey, you've been through some tough things, right? And you've had to grow through some of those things. So what has that personal journey, how has that revealed toughness for you?
First of all, I definitely appreciate your time, man. I know you're busy. I see you everywhere, and I'm like, man, I got to get some of that energy it's really getting it in. So I appreciate the time even coming here to, have this conversation.
For sure.
But, for me, everybody has their own story, and no one is really better than another or worse than another, in my opinion. But, growing up, I never thought I'd be flying airplanes. It was never even a thought in my mind. I was really good at basketball. Went to college on a basketball scholarship, one of the top JUCOs in the country. And I realized, these guys are pretty good. Let me find something else I'm good at. Great guys. But so my journey, man, nobody else in my family does this. Nobody else in my family went to the Navy. So I didn't really have anybody to ask questions. A lot of pilots, they know at 4, 5, and 6 years old because their grandfather, their father flew airplanes, and they came back and they told me, hey, this is the route you're going to go. I didn't have that, so it was a bit of a hurdle, but I was blessed. I had good people around me. For me, if I wouldn't have left my environment, I love where I'm from. I love Houston, love Fifth Ward. I love graduating from school out of South Park. But had I not left and got exposed to Chicago, Miami, LA, New York, and got around a different support system, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So even when I do these amazing things that people say, oh man, that's awesome, I always come back to Houston because that's my foundation. But my upbringing is turn on the news, whatever you see young black boys going through, I probably went through that and more, coming up in the 80s out here in Houston.
That's cool. There's one key thing that I know about you, I think, is that you have a servant's heart. Right? And so in all you do, you strive to serve others and be a mentor, right? I've heard your story, how you talked about, you were leaving to quit school and the recruiter was walking in and that's how you got interested in the military, right? And mentor, right? Like I've heard you talk about, your loved ones, a couple have passed recently, but people that have poured into your life to help you be who you are. Mentor, right? Like we've done some events together where we've spoken and you've invited me to speak at some of your events where we're at schools where people may not even want to go to speak, but you're in the trenches and we're in the trenches with kids pouring into them and showing them that there is a way.
100%.
Mentor. Right. And so the key emphasis is mentor here, man. Why is it important to have the right mentors?
And it's funny you said the right mentor, right? Everybody's not meant to be a mentor.
Come on.
Right. So just because a person went and had this hard life, or this person went to jail and came back and they got a story. the mentor-mentee relationship is something that is, trust is gained. It's not just forced upon people. You can't just put, two people together and say, you're the mentor, you're the mentee. It's an organic relationship. It's building blocks. And for me, I can't mentor everybody. I know that. So whenever I have young women that want to be pilots, I know some phenomenal women pilots that are great mentors. As much as they want to be my mentee, I say, we can start, but let me pass you on to somebody that can better relate to you, regardless of your race, regardless of what city you're in. I'm humble enough to know that I can't serve everybody, but I want to make sure that everybody's served, if that makes sense. So mentorship, is key. Again, my high school days, had I not had that Navy recruiter, and there was no other branch to come to my school, he was the only one. So had he not shown up at that time, as I'm walking out from shooting dice and getting in trouble, I ain't no telling what my life would be. So I'm forever grateful, and whenever I can pay it forward and help a young person that just don't know, they don't know what they don't know. And I'm in a position to where I've experienced things in life and been able to travel and experience different cultures to say, hey man, listen to me on this. Let's just at least try this out, and it can change your whole world. And I've been blessed to have some great mentees, and it's been a journey. But I'm big on mentorship. I'm big on it.
It's good, man. I think also along that journey of living and learning, right, along that journey of achieving those amazing things, none of us are immune from growing through tough things in our life, and so it's important for us to bounce back from the challenges. And you've had some challenges in your life that you've had to bounce back from, right? And so I think about the visual of a basketball, right? So if you have a basketball that's flat and you try to bounce that thing, it's not going to bounce back up, right? But if you have air in that ball and you bounce it, it's going to bounce back up.
Come back up.
So the thing is, if we have greatness in us, we have tools that have been put into us. We just have to realize that, so that we bounce back after the challenges. And man, let's hit on that a little bit. How have you been able to bounce back from some of the challenges that you faced?
Man, and I'm if you follow me on social media in any capacity, I don't talk about religion. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about that, because it's so divisive.
Right.
But I'm a man of faith, man. And when I tell you, I pray every morning. I pray multiple times throughout the day. Before I go flying, I'm praying. It's not because I think I'm going to crash. I pray because of the gratitude I get to go fly. I get to have the knowledge in my head to where when we take this plane up, if anything happens, I know how to land safely. Right. So it's more gratitude than anything else. But my faith has helped me in ways that I never thought would be possible. So, and I hadn't shared this publicly, but my journey that I'm on now, the time I went to the military, I made E5 in 3 years. I'm shooting up the ranks.
Hey, break that down to us.
Okay. You're right. Let's get that military talk.
The military talk.
So I came in at the lowest. I was E1. I was probably making.
So E1 is the lowest.
Right. So I was probably making $900 a month. And when I came in, so that's like $900 a month. People make that in some days, right? So I came in at the lowest rank, and usually it takes about, you go from E1 to E2 to E3 to E4 to E5. That's usually 6, 7, 8 years in other what we call ratings or jobs. But for me, I did it in 3 years. And the reason I was able to do that was because I was studying hard. I wasn't getting in trouble outside of my job.
Put the work in.
I was putting the work in, and I had a good support system. So, from the military, stellar career. No bad marks at all. Got out, went to flight school, the only African American in my school, 300 people, I was the only black person, right? So I didn't have anybody I could talk to like this that really understood or could relate, but I got through that, and it was great. No issues, no failures, which is unheard of. No check ride failures. It wasn't until I got to the airlines where things were a little bit different. It was my first time actually flying with somebody that didn't look like me for a long period of time. And that impacted me, So learned a lot. It was a great time as far as my growth as a pilot. but that was the time I was actually forced to pivot to look at some other opportunities as well. And it just, but I'm grateful, man. I have no regrets, but during that time I lost my grandmothers, and they're the ones who were my foundation. I didn't grow up with my grandfathers, my mother and father, I love them, but everyone knows that my grandmothers were my foundation. So when they passed on and transitioned, it was like, man, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So that's been my journey that I'm still currently on. You know, I still deal with that.
It's as I heard you say that, I was thinking about reflecting on my personal journey too. In the last 15, 16 years, I've lost 4 of my starting 5.
Oh wow!
Right, and so it's different when we all go to funerals, right? Yeah. It's different when you just sit anywhere in a funeral, or if you're in the first 2 rows in the funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right. And so it's different in that regard. Because if you're in the first 2 rows, that means that that person that you're there for the funeral is important to you.
Absolutely.
Right? And I think it brings about a reflection for us in our life to where now we realize that now we are to people what they were to us.
Yeah.
And man, that's a
lot of weight to carry.
That's a lot of weight to carry, man.
Yeah.
But then when you think about it, it's like I am enough. I can carry that weight because they've instilled and put it in me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right now, granted, it is a journey and it is tough. My mom passed 6 years ago, and it's still tough for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those. I mean, it's still tough, but I know that she would want me to continue to strive to do great things, and I'm just striving to make her proud.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know she's proud too.
Man, yeah. And it's cool to see people from my hometown or family, man, your mom, your dad would be so proud of you. Those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, just talking about your journey, and I started with talking about how you go above and beyond to be of service and share the knowledge that you have, right? About how to fly and bringing in mentor groups, and that's a couple things. And every time you have an event, you send me the information so we can try to get leaders to bring kids, to get in the planes and sit in the planes and flight simulator, all of those different things, they can really see a real plane, right?
Absolutely.
And so, man, I think it's dope how you do that and the effort and energy that you give to that. I think it's amazing. So let's talk about the importance of being of service and sharing the knowledge that you've gained. Why is it important to do that?
Honestly, man, I think what I do is, humbly, I say it's priceless. I would love to be able to get paid $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year to do it, but I don't, and I still go out there like I do. That's what's important, right? You got to have a servant's heart. At the end of the day, and I tell people all the time, in my former life, prior to the flight suits, prior to me flying, I would make $15,000 a week doing stuff that I should not be doing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't of a servant's heart, right? I would make $15,000, I spend $15,000 a week, right? So it's like, man, something isn't adding up here. And I was my loneliest when I had the most materialistic stuff. I was the loneliest.
That's good.
So it's like, what has to change? And it's when I had my children. The idea of not being a father, not being present, letting another man raise my children. Oh no, I'm not letting that happen. So that was a pivotal moment for me, and I became even more of a servant leader because I want them to look up to me and say, man, my dad, even if they think it's normal they think everybody's dad fly airplanes, right? Yeah. They think it's normal. Right. All right, man. So their friends, your dad does what? Their friends think I'm super bad, but my kids think, oh yeah, my dad flies airplanes.
Just dad.
Yeah, that's just dad to me, right?
Yeah,
so for me,
that's good.
That makes me happy. So it's no amount of money. I've been everywhere. I've experienced, and I'm grateful for that. But being a servant leader is just everything. It's like, how are you going to pour back into somebody? Be the mentor you needed when you were growing up. Be the somebody you can talk to when you were growing up. So that's my driving focus. And if you know me, I'll give you my last.
Yeah, for sure.
because I'm gonna find a way to go back and get it, you know. But I don't want to see you struggling unnecessarily. So for me, that's why I sleep well at night, just being able to help as many people as I can and wake up tomorrow and do the same thing.
It's dope, man. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share, you know, where the audience can go, follow you, check you out, show you some love, get your books, coloring books, hear you speak, do flight stuff. Check it out. Tell them about that.
Absolutely. So I appreciate it again. This is a great. I love how, you know, when I'm a Navy guy, so we talk about you know, the huge aircraft carriers. Whenever they gotta make a course correction, they're making it miles back because you know, same thing with big airplanes, right? What I like about working with you is you're like a fighter jet. You know, you can pivot. You could be here. You could be here. You was in Austin yesterday. You know, we're able to set this up to share on your platform, you know, so I'm grateful for that. And you could have been anywhere else, literally, because you do so much for the community. You got a servant leadership heart as well. So, you know, this opportunity, again, to be able to share, talking about the coloring book, the only one in the world, literally. And I know that because it literally came from my brain. It wasn't, and I looked everywhere to see if it was anything like it. And what makes it unique is being a pilot is great. But we get all the kudos, and that's fine. But it's an air traffic control tower right there. They're looking at us do this interview. People wouldn't even know that job was available. You know, you gotta become an air traffic controller before you turn to age 30. You know what I mean? People don't know that. So because it's a young person's career, you don't have to go to college to become a pilot. It's a trade. Same thing with air traffic controller. People think we got to have these big degrees, but what's so special about the book? Everybody in here looks like our aunts, our brothers, our sisters. It's intentional. Every other page is of a man or a woman. It's 50-50. It's no one is better than the other.
Afro there.
Afros, braids, fades, everything. It's nothing like this that exists anywhere else. And my degree is in computer information systems. So I absolutely use technology and artificial intelligence to help create this. But it came from me first, and then I told it what I wanted to look like, created the pictures, and at the bottom it explains the job. And these are careers that people can have that they just are unaware of. So that's my contribution, and I've enjoyed this just as much as flying. So when I go to schools and I tell them about quality assurance inspector and how to get into those roles, you don't have to be in the streets. You know, if the basketball and football don't work out, you can make six figures and more doing other things. So on social media, I'm Aviator for the People. AV
with the number 4.
Aviator, AV, the number 8. R, the number 4, the people, and that's exactly who I am. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on my website is rarevision.org, www.rairvision.org, and you can find me anywhere else. And for anybody that wants to reach out, I tell people all the time, my direct number is 713-449-4667. If I could help you, that's what I'm here for. You know, I can't take this with me, so if I can share it with as many people as possible, that's my goal.
Man, I thought you was gonna say 713-330-8004.
Oh no, he the one. He the one that. Yeah. He did it first.
Yeah, he did that.
He did it first, man.
That's a different one. But man, again, man, thank you so much for chopping it up with me.
Absolutely.
You know, like you said, you know, it's an honor for me to be here with you. I wouldn't rather be anywhere but here, helping you share your story. I mean, I wholeheartedly believe in what you do, love what you do, love what you're about, man. And so it's my honor to be here and to have you on the Success Chronicles. And thanks so much for thinking of us to have it. And thank you guys for checking out this session. We'll see you next time. God bless. And there's an airplane in the background that you hear.
They're going on right now.
So we are here, you know, at a airport hangar. Man, like you said during the interview, you know, air traffic control right there. They're looking right at us.
Yeah, see what's going on.
You know, right on the other side of the hangar. It's a hangar like this. It's a runway. So I mean, the noises that you heard throughout the interview, like we're really here at the airport. And so again, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Go get it.
I got introduced to aviation at 18, and one of the first things I noticed that it wasn't a lot of us in the Navy, especially flying airplanes. So when I would go into my squadron, I'm enlisted, I'm at the bottom, but I'm flying. So I was already experiencing what it felt like to be a black aviator amongst those who were not. So that was great. I had a great time. When I got into flight school though, it was really interesting because my instructors were either African American, minorities who were dark-skinned, Indians, or Africans. So every time I flew, if I looked to my right or left, I see somebody that looked like me. And we could relate on the sense of being minorities in the United States of America. So went through flight school, no failures, no check ride failures, no stage check failures, anything like that. And it was great. When I would get time to take my test though, I would take it with others who are not black, right? So white males. So I would do my training with African Americans or people that are minorities, but then I would go take my stage check rides and my check rides with white males. Blow it out the water. Never failed it or anything like that. Never had any setbacks. When I got to the airlines, that was the first time that I was exposed to having to spend so much time with a white male counterpart. And you would think that it wouldn't matter because we're just there to fly the plane, but there were some obvious differences. He was older than myself. He already had 5 type ratings, and outside of the plane, we were able to connect. We were okay. Once we got into the plane, there was a superiority complex. So there were times I would make adjustments on the controls, and one time he completely moved my hand off. That's unacceptable. So he didn't believe that I had the knowledge or the wherewithal to do my job. And in turn, that impacted how our flights went, and it wasn't successful. So that's my first time actually not being successful in aviation from 1998 until 2024. I had been successful all that time, but it wasn't until that time where I had to actually fly with a counterpart that didn't look like me, and it didn't work out. So it was heartbreaking. It was painful. You start doubting yourself. You start thinking, am I really good enough? I've gotten all the way to the NBA and I get shut down. But that's not the case at all. It was just the position at that time. In high school, I wasn't the greatest student. Again, I was possibly around the wrong people. The environment didn't promote Acing exams and so forth, and my mindset wasn't there to be, you know, the best student in the class. It just wasn't at that time. But it was something about the idea of leaving and going to the Navy where I applied myself differently, and I scored really high on the exam, and everybody was surprised as far as the recruiter. And I got recruited out of Gulfgate, which is on the south side, and again, it's us, where it's people that I can relate to. The way the military works is you take it here, you get all your paperwork, everything ready to go, and then you go to what we call the MEP station, which is downtown. So once I transferred to the MEP station, as I'm getting closer to leaving, they saw my test scores, but then they also saw my high school transcript, and it was completely different. So they're thinking the recruiter's in there helping me, they think I done cheated, so they made me take the test again at MEPS. And they shouldn't have. They should have went with my first scores. But I really did study hard. And they gave me the same test. So I knew what I had missed on that first one when they gave it to me again. So I took the second test and scored even higher in front of them. So they were like, oh, wow. When that happened, back in the day, it's different now because of technology, but they would lay these jobs out on the table on a piece of paper. And I had like 8 or 9 jobs. The first 4 jobs they offered me were not highly technical jobs. It was a cook, a boatswain mate, like cleaning the ship, stuff that didn't require a lot of, you know, nothing against those jobs, but I had scored high enough to where I could go into aviation. And they had that job kind of off to the side. And I seen it, I just happened to look and I glanced down and say, well, these are cool, but what about this job? You know, I qualify for this, what is it? And they said it involves a lot of swimming, involves a lot of flying. 90% of the people that try this job fail out. You should go be a cook. That's easiest. But I'm from Fifth Ward, so the moment you tell me that I can't do something, yeah, let me do that one then. just to show you, I had no idea what I was getting into. I didn't think I was getting into aviation and flying around the world looking for submarines, but because that person told me I couldn't do it, that's why I chose the job. But it was hands down the best decision professionally I've ever made. I'm still reaping the benefits from that decision. So that's how I got into aviation, you know. Wouldn't change anything about it. So for me, giving service, I tell people all the time I use the airplanes as a catalyst. Even if I was in NASCAR, if I was in boating or whatever the case may be, I would still have the same energy. I'm just blessed because I have airplanes at my disposal. So taking young people flying is one option, but it's also just exposing them to different careers, and it's the kids who need it the most. We live 20 miles from an airport. When pilots land, they're not coming to these neighborhoods to help young people because they're focused on their job. They're trying to get from point A to point B. So I take it as a part of my calling to connect what's happening here to the inner city or to young people in rural areas who may not be exposed to it. So for me, that's my service. And it doesn't always include flying. Sometimes people call me because they just need to vent because they're going through something in life that they hadn't experienced before. Where me being a little more seasoned and having experienced things, especially young men, whether it's financial, whether it's relationships, whether it's how they deal with their family, them asking my opinion, that means a lot. So I tell them what I hope somebody would have told me when I was young to help steer me in the right direction. The airplanes are great. We can go flying anywhere we want, but when I'm able to pour into young people and give them positive advice so that they don't make the same mistakes I made, that's what's really priceless to me. Those are the guys, they take them to the oil rigs.
Oh, okay.
And those helicopters, they take 4 at a time, 5 at a time.
Crazy.
To the middle of the Gulf.
That's
Because the
crazy.
planes can't land on them, so they gotta fly the helicopters from here or from Galveston too.
So they have like, you can stay like rooms, you can stay out here, you got the luggage carts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We can put the bags here for now.
There.
And we can talk here.
Okay.
But I'll walk us around real quick and show you around.
The layout.
So basically, like when the planes come in, if it's raining or something, you'll see some probably pull up while we're here. But
Really?
the plane to pull right here, the private jets, yeah, that's wild. And then if it's raining or anything, they just walk right in. Or they have the car meet them at the plane, so they don't have to come in. But if they got to use the restroom or something, yeah. So we were just right there where that air traffic control tower is,
Yep.
straight ahead.
Yep.
So that's where we were. We just came to the other side. So it don't matter if you come in a private jet or that little bitty plane, they're supposed to treat you with the same level of hospitality. So it don't matter. The little plane I was in, if I pull over and just sit right there, they're gonna run out there and do everything. And that's what separates the really great FBOs from the ones that are not that good, the customer service.
When you say FBOs,
Fixed base operator.
okay.
So it's a gas station.
Yeah.
But FBO is what it's called. It's called Galaxy FBO because everything they do is pretty much space related.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. So, but yeah, they got one of these at Hobby. So
Yeah.
one up north and one down south.
So each airport has something like that, even though
Yeah, but it just depends on how much they want to invest into this part, right? Some of them are just a no frills. They're not gonna do all this. Where you just pull up, get your gas and leave. But others, they really go above and beyond because it's really up to the pilots when they pull into these places, which one they stop and who they get the business to. The people in the back don't really care as much. As long as we in North Houston, you just come out here and chill, especially like on a nice day. It's cloudy today, but on a day when it's sunny, bro, planes everywhere, private jets everywhere, taking off, landing, nice backdrop. You know, And then they open those doors to his planes back there.
Yeah, I saw when we was down there, you could see inside the planes and everything.
Yeah. But this is what we flew the kids from last time. So it's good, man. It's just a different perspective.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Go get it.